Hello everyone and welcome back to my Grand Arena. I'm Captain Riggs here and I'm just under 9 million GP. I recently got Bo-Katan Mandalore, but you won't see, so you saw right there, she's only gear 12, so she's not quite up to use yet. I got Leia Organa within the past few months. I've got all three of the top tier capital ships, and I'm facing player Natalie, 11 million GP. They've got 8 GLs, so 5 more than me, 2 million more GP. About an average battle in Kyber 4. I just recently got promoted all the way up to Kyber 4. Thankfully, they've only got Executor, which makes my Grand Arena plan much easier because I put Leviathan and Executor on my Grand Arena defense and keep Profundity for offense. This first battle will be Bane versus Lord Vader. This is one where it's just very consistent for me. I've got a Relic 9 Bane, and even though I've only got a Relic 7 Darth Maul, still usually gets the job done, even against high relics, like Relic 9 Lord Vader, Relic 9 Scorch, like this guy's got here. I've got plenty of Datacrons, so I'll do just a defense, or a dark side turn meter one for just a little bit of help for Bane, even though I doubt he'll need it in this battle. Basically, there's no real strategy here. Just do that first or that second special, and then the first special over and over. Eventually, Maul dies, and you can start doing more damage with Bane. But it's not that complicated, and as you can tell, not that difficult. This battle has gone on for quite a while just because Lord Vader and Scorch are both Relic 9, so it takes Bane a while to get through them all. At this point, I was getting a little bit worried because Lord Vader was just ramping up his damage, and I hadn't killed him off quite yet, but thankfully Bane siphons faster, or fast enough, where he can kind of outpace Lord Vader. And finally here, Lord Vader got in the red, now back into the yellow, but Bane got him back in the red and jumped in turn for turn meter and managed to kill him. And then here comes Scorch. Scorch, I'm surprised he was that tanky. Like, he outlasted Lord Vader. Granted, I was doing only AoEs to him, but that's still impressive. Next up, I've got Leia Organa versus Rey with Ben and Ezra. Thankfully, this is only a Relic 5 Ezra with no Omicrons, as you could see right there. So, Drogon should be able to one-tap him here off the start. I'm not too worried. My Drogon is decently modded and Relic 7, so he routinely one-taps Ezra's far better than this one. At this point, I was a little bit worried that L3 was still taunting, but as you can see here shortly, Drogon can ignore that taunt. Oh, nor Ezra started taunting, so have Jin, the only one not under stealth there because she can't die until Radis does. So that's a nice little feature of this team. Drogon one-tapped Ezra, so Ezra is all taken care of, and at this point, it looks a little dicey, but it's really not. There's no worries in this battle. I've got a Relic 9 Leia, 9 Radis, 8 R2, 7 Drogon. I'm not too worried. I've done this battle multiple times. It's nice to have Leia because she can kind of handle just about anything. Thankfully, Leia managed to take out Ben and Fracture like her ability does, so it was nice to not have to worry about the Ben-Rey interaction. So this is a good General Skywalker team, but I don't want to overkill it while using Kylo and Darkseid Rey, so I just decided to take in this unaligned Force user team with Spider Maul, who I recently acquired. This team got a Relic 8 General Skywalker, so it'll take me a little bit at the beginning to ramp up my damage and be able to get through his protection so I can kill all the clones first. Thankfully, not too difficult of a battle here with all the different abilities that I get here from these unaligned Force users. Makes it pretty easy. So now, just got this Mon Mothma team before I can see what they got on the back wall. As you can see, my General Skywalker is relatively under-reliced, with multiple of the clones being Relic 3. So even though this is a good team, they're under-reliced, so I didn't feel too bad about overkilling this Mon Mothma team. With gas preventing revives, I was just trying to prevent as much AoE damage as possible, save a few banners here while still getting the solid win. So here I was scouting out the back wall. They've got a Jabba and a Queen Padme. I've got my own Queen Padme to take out Jabba, and I've got Supreme Leader Kylo to take out the Queen Padme. So I'll use my Sith Triumvirate plus a couple other Sith to take out this Reva team. Thankfully, this is a lower Relic Reva team. Usually I see Inquisitor squads that are all Relic 7, but this one being only Relic 5 should be relatively easy for this Sith Triumvirate plus friends. Relatively simple last battle, and I'm not too worried about this battle. This is a high Relic Jabba, and it got a Datacron, but this Queen Padme team takes it out most of the time anyways. So I'll use my own Datacron, Attacker Cron there to boost my damage. And you just gotta survive here at the beginning. You gotta hope that Bush Leia and Jabba don't attack. The big three is all that matters here. So Padawan Obi, Master Qui-Gon, and Queen Padme. Frankly, Jedi Knight Anakin and Grandmaster Yoda, they play very little impact in this battle. Thankfully, Jabba used that buff immunity on Master Yoda, and frankly, he was expendable. So he took that shot instead of it going on Obi. Obi wiped out Bush Leia, trying to wipe out Cad and Skiff Guard, but Chrysanthemum's taunting, so I'll just take him out first. Him being only Relic 5, even with this good Datacron, Padawan Obi-Wan blitzes through him, and then once this happens, it'll be all out on Jabba, and while he's got a big health pool being a Relic 8 GL, Obi-Wan can ignore all his protection and makes it pretty simple. Using Supreme Leader Kylo Ren here against this Queen Padme team. This is one of those new teams with annoying mechanics, so I thought I might as well just overkill it here. This is the scariest team left, and this is my most powerful offensive team, so should be handled pretty easily. This version of Supreme Leader Kylo Ren with Darkseid Rey beats just about any team that you can set on defense, so including all the GLs, so this should be a cakewalk. This is usually a pretty fun battle. CLS with a good Datacron versus Radis with a good Datacron. It's fun. I start out right away. You got to kill Radis first because he's the most dangerous thing in the enemy team. And then as soon as you kill him, you attack Jin because she's got a revive. And you can't do it in the opposite order because Jin cannot die until Radis is dead. They've got dual tanks in their team to try to prevent this from happening, but the initial turn meter that you get with this CLS team makes it irrelevant. Very quick, very easy battle. They do steal quite a bit of banners, though, because attacks out of turn trigger exposes, which K2SO counterattacking steals banners very effectively. Got Master Luke here without Cal and Ezra, I'm saving them for their own squad, versus a Phoenix with Captain Rex. Captain Rex elevates this squad a lot, but I've got a GL left over, so I'm not too worried. I believe there are some Datacron shenanigans going on here. Every time I attack Captain Rex, he goes under stealth, which makes killing him a pain. But I'm not too worried. I'll just go around, wipe out his allies, my enemies, prevent him from gaining too much turn meter. I've got Master Luke taunting, so I'm not too worried about the damage that they're dealing. I don't. It's something to do with my Datacron, but Master Luke's basics are doing a lot of damage, so it makes this battle pretty easy. That was just 600,000 to Kanan, and he's still living somehow. But Revan with the cleanse, 400,000 to kill Kanan there. Get Master Luke for the assist, just under 200,000 there to kill him. And now just slowly killing Captain Rex. I keep most of my good teams for offense, so at this point, I'm not too worried about clearing these teams. I've got a good Star Killer squad to take on these OG Night Sisters. Wait until I get Star Killer's turn because his basic AoE will wipe out any of them that are still living once it gets to his turn. Got Marin trying to control their turn meter. Just waiting for Star Killer to get his turn and use his basic. Thankfully, that did very little damage. Star Killer wipes them all out, and I get a good, perfect 65 banners. This Bastila lead with Cal plus Ezra squad does a lot of good work for me. Usually I save them just the trio to take out whatever version of Darth Malgus and Sith Empire my enemy places. But since my enemy didn't place that, I'll use them here against this Zori resistance squad. Not too worried here. Between Ezra and Cal, Purgle migration gets going really quick. I get all of the debuffs going on all of them. And Ezra counterattacks, and when he assists, he calls Cal to assist. It's a pretty quick, simple battle. While I'm thinking about ships here, my enemy doesn't place any of the big three, but does place the new and improved Home 1 plus B-Wing squad, which here can be very dangerous on defense. So thankfully I kept Profundity, which is like the best anti-turn meter fleet. So it kind of works like a perfect counter to this Home 1 Rebel squad. I want to kill off B-Wing here as soon as possible because he is the most dangerous with calling to assist, decreasing cooldowns, all of his shenanigans with Home 1's ultimate ability. Just want to get him out as soon as possible. And then I'd like to kill off the Raven's Claw and take out the two new generation ships here and bring it back to just the OGs, which are a cakewalk to kill. So killed off the whatever that was, Wedge or Biggs, I didn't quite tell. Just trying to kill off Raven's Claw here without the B-Wing. This team is not dangerous. Just waiting, they've got some days on me, so I can't assist quite as often, but just waiting here for the inevitable win for me. I call in the ship Rogue One, get some assists here. I'll get some tenacity up here in a second when he goes again. Just waiting to use my ultimate ability right now, get their capital ship out of here, and then I'll use that. Take out the Ghost, Raven's Claw's 1 HP, and then it'll just be down to the Biston's E-Wing, which gets wiped out pretty quickly. Negotiator here versus the Admiral Haldo's Radis Resistance Fleet. This is a battle I do pretty routinely. Have these three attackers to start, do some big damage off the rip, take out the Star Fortress, get some assists. I try to take out Poe's X-Wing as soon as possible, but not too difficult here. They have a lot of cleanses, have a lot of buffs, but I've got cleanses of my own, protection recoveries, assists, and they're not a very tanky team either, so it doesn't take too long to mow down these enemy ships. I was thinking about using the B-Wing and Home 1 for this battle, but the way that the finalizer messes with turn meter, I didn't want to risk it, so I decided just to use my Empire with the TIE silencer. No, not silencer, TIE Defender. The TIE Defender does good work against these B-tier fleets, so I'm not too worried about getting this battle done. Get the silencer, the Defender in here, get the stun on the TIE Echelon, which is very tanky and taking a while to get through. Taking longer than usual, but I'm not too worried. With all the dodges I get here from the TIE Fighter and TIE Defender, I push so much turn meter into the Chimera that I'll have an insta-kill here shortly. This works very well. They got a stun on the TIE Defender there, which is annoying, but I've got a Dispel here, and I've got some protection recovery and buff dispelling, which works very nicely. I like having that, I think it's Gar Saxon's ship, in there for that cleanse and protection up. I'll use the burning here from the TIE Bomber. I've got the insta-kill here from the Chimera to heal up Vader's. Trying to just save as many banners as possible here. Dagger gets one last shot in, but I don't think it steals any banners. And that's the final battle of the Grand Arena. Full clear here in my first battle back to Kyber. So thank you for watching.